Transformation in 4 weeks. A trouble-filled SJB. Easter Sunday attacks and 4 presidents. Mahinda reiterates he will not retire.
The leader. දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Transformation in 4 weeks. It has been 4 weeks since AKD became the president as the result of a massive human tsunami. Once too often, some may say cheap things on social media, but it is true that many positive things have happened since then, towards the fruition of people's aspirations. AKD's interactions with the international community provided assurances of support to Sri Lanka. In the meantime, some have begun advising him on how to run the country. All the more, people expected a particular social transformation by the alternative opinionated NPP rather than from a conventional party. The ongoing dialogue is on whether that change is happening in real terms. Another election follows immediately. How can a social transformation take place in the interim when another election is to follow immediately after? AKD's side says the people have an obligation now to elect a government that will facilitate his programme toward the realisation of their hopes. For its part, the opposition argues a simple majority is more than adequate. It recalls how things went awry after Gota was given a 2/3 mandate. A strong opposition, not a strong government, is needed for democracy to thrive, it insists. Politicians now in the electorates. With a general election about to happen, all the parties have now reached out to the grassroots. So politicians have now left the comfort of their headquarters and are visiting the electorates to garner votes. AKD starts the NPP's campaign from Tangale. Already, other mainstream parties are having pocket meetings, seminars, etc. Rather than a competition amongst the parties, fighting within for preferential votes has become widespread. After having had a well-planned campaign for the presidential race, the NPP has nothing new to tell the electorate. No place in NPP for those who fished in troubled waters. No trouble or loss of expectations has so far been reported from the NPP since it has planned all its candidate lists methodically and well in advance. Unaware of how that was happening, certain persons had intended to enter politics via the NPP, but none got an opportunity. A trouble-filled SJB. The situation in other parties is not so good, especially in the main opposition SJB. A parliament sans Patali. The first to leave the SJB-led alliance over candidate issues is Patali. His withdrawal cannot be taken lightly. Patali has been a key figure in the students' movement in the 1980s, although AKD too got similarly involved towards the end of that decade. Following the 1988-89 terror period, Patali resumed student politics from Colombo and Moratuwa universities, with the others joining in later on. His withdrawal could be temporary, but that denied opportunities for many. Paranawithana, who withdrew from contesting for Ratnapura, is one of them. Actress Damitha created a big scene after she was denied nominations for Ratnapura. Those few were among the numerous worries being faced by the SJB. However, the party hierarchy led by Sajith didn't go to solve any of those and just went on with their work unconcerned. In an exception, several key figures came forward on behalf of Hirunika, who raised certain issues last week. The main among them was her personal animosity towards an electronic media channel that is close to her leader. Her concerns were rejected as baseless, with the party saying it had a common objective, and not personal. Hirunika has been at loggerheads with certain powerful men and women in the party too, but those problems didn't surface because she had been kept well under control. Nevertheless, she strongly opposed orders from anyone other than Sajith and Maduma Bandara. The biggest issue she raised was the inclusion of female characters, such as Apsari in Colombo. Wither Hirunika in Colombo. As per results at the presidential polls, the SJB can expect a maximum of 6 seats from Colombo. In the fray are several notable figures and a big competition is expected among them. Sajith, Marikar, Mujibur, Harsha, Mano, Iran and Hirunika are the key contenders. Hirunika faces a formidable challenge, But being a woman and a popular character, she has an edge over the others, many say. So she thought that her position as national organiser of the SJB's women's wing will come in the way, in addition to her discontent with certain party figures. Maduma Bandara explains why. She tendered her resignation. But Maduma Bandara refused to accept it. Hirunika called a media briefing with the intention of speaking her heart out. But Maduma Bandara arrived to dash her hopes. Saying she is not allowed to resign, she opened the floor for her general secretary. That one said her one-year tenure is over, and that she will be renamed to the position. If she wants, she can refrain from touring the country due to her commitments to the electorate. But she remains the national organiser, was his explanation. Easter Sunday attacks and 4 presidents. The Easter Sunday attacks have been the most contentious issue in recent political history. It led to the retirement of 2 presidents and paved the way for as many others. So, that issue has been an election promise ever since. Probe ends up with Sarah. Even the intelligence wings of our neighbours have been at pains, inquiring into the 2019 attacks. At home, 3 presidential commissions were appointed, and their reports are a key matter of concern today. Sirisena, as the then president, appointed the first commission. But none was held accountable, and the report of that commission remains missing to date. Certain matters ended up with Sarah, who claimed to have fled the country. Subsequently, that commission failed to find the perpetrators and blamed certain officials for failing to prevent the attacks. Ironically, Sirisena became the biggest respondent and paid the highest compensation, in addition to the then Defence Secretary, IGP and intelligence chiefs too, paying compensation. AKD-2 finds it cumbersome. Incumbent AKD-2 rode to power on the blood and tears of the Easter Sunday victims. Catholics voted for him with the belief that he would find and punish the guilty parties. Their biggest office-bearer, the Cardinal, gave them much encouragement on that count. Former Solicitor General Arsecularatne coordinated things and even took AKD to the Katuwapitia Church after he became the president. There too, AKD promised justice very soon. Furthermore, the matter came up at the launch of a book based on the Easter Sunday attacks, penned by Sunanda Deshapriya. A personal secretary to AKD, who was in attendance, said another commission of inquiry should be appointed. He was echoing exactly what his boss said at Katuwapitia. But the opposition rejects it. It says no more commissions are needed. People don't know the fate of the reports by those appointed by Sirisena and Ranil. Find the 2 reports of the commissions appointed by Ranil. Find the guilty and decide, says the opposition. Gamanpila hijacks the campaign. On the 14th, Gamanpila dropped a bombshell. At a media briefing at his PHU headquarters, he claimed to possess 2 of the missing inquiry reports that contain important things needed to be known by the public. If he wants to give justice, the president should publicise those reports immediately, said Gamanpila. He gave AKD 7 days to do so, or else, he said, he would come out with the reports himself. Cabinet spokesman Vijitha gave him a reply that left him speechless. If there is such a report, please hand them over to the state within 3 days. It is an offence to hide state secrets. We also need to find out how he got hold of it, said Vijitha. On the 16th, Gamanpila reacted, where he said he needed an assurance the reports would be made known to the public. Journalists jokingly advised him to keep things like a toothbrush, sarong and a towel ready in a bag in the event he ends up behind bars. Gamanpila said it was not a big deal for him to go to prison, which he did for 15 days in 2015 too. Before doing that, they should tell the truth to the people. I don't mind going to prison after unmasking those responsible, said the PHU leader. But some say he made all these claims in an attempt to gain some publicity during election time. Nalinda's strong reaction. Party spokesman and Kalutara district leader Nalinda too joined in, warning not to complain of political witch hunts when the law takes its due course and the guilty gets punished. How things can go wrong for Gamanpila. Another NPP frontliner Upul Kumaraperuma comments that Gamanpila will commit a criminal offence if he reveals state secrets. Also a candidate for Matara, He cautions Gamanpila to be careful when he goes about revealing things. According to the law, a presidential report cannot be made public for 30 years, says the PC. Anyhow, Gamanpila seems undeterred. Having called and sent SMS messages to Vijita, followed by a letter by registered post, he has taken the preliminaries to face the courts. At the same time, he says he will not reveal anything that affects national security when he makes the reports public.
රාජ්‍ය රහස වෙන්නේ කමිටු වාර්තාවල තියෙන ඇමුණු මම විජිතේරත් ඇමතුමාට දුරකථනයෙන් කතා කරා මේ ඇමුණුන් ටික මම බාර දෙන්න සූදානම් දිනයක් සහ වෙලාවක් කියන්න කියලා. ඇමතුමා දුරකථනයට උත්තර දුන්නේ නැහැ. මගේ මේ දුරකථන අංකය අවුරුදු 22ක් පරණයි. අවුරුදු 25ක් පුරාවට විජිතේරත් ඇමතුමාත් මමත් දුරකථනයෙන් කතා කරනවා. ඒ පාර මම එතුමාට කෙටි පණිවිඩයක් ඇව්වා. හදිසියෙ මම අමතක කළාද දන්නේ නැමෙති වුණාට පස්සේ මම උදේ ගම්මන් පිළ හැකි ඉක්මනින් මාව අමතන්න කියලා. ඒකටත් මේ දක්වා ප්‍රතිචාරයක් නැහැ. ඉතින් අර සිතාමතා එතුමා මාව මගහරින බවක් පේන්නේ. ඒ නිසා අද මම එතුමාට ලියාපදිංචි තැපෑලෙන් ලිපියක් දැම්මා. මේ ඇමුණු මං ගාව තියෙනවා. මට ඒව බාර දෙන්න අවශ්‍යයි. මට දිනයක් සහ වෙලාවක් දෙන්න කියලා. ඉතින් අපි ප්‍රසිද්ධ කරන්නේ කොමිෂන් වාර්තා පමණයි. ජාතික ආරක්ෂාවට සංවේදී කිසිම ඇමුණුමක් අපි ප්‍රසිද්ධ කරන්නේ නැහැ.
Catholic Church, too, launches an attack. In this matter, the Catholic Church has an idea of its own. Father Cyril Gamini shows no interest in the reports to be exposed by Gamanpila. He asks that no political advantage be gained from the issue and urges Gamanpila not to interfere in the CID investigations. Although the issue continues to be a top priority election issue, critics don't believe justice will be served for the victims. Mahinda reiterates he will not retire. The SLPP2 is on the campaign trail. Journalists inquired from Mahinda at a function at Sri Lanka Foundation if the Rajapaksas are retiring from politics. He responded that it was time to say goodbye to Parliament, but that none will leave politics. During tea break, he was joined by Sarath Weerasakara, Mohan Wijewikrama, Dr. Sudantha Leonaj, Udaya Sri Kariyawasam and Damitha Wickramasinghe. Mahinda commended the speech given by Kariyawasam, an economist who made the Bank of Ceylon and Insurance Corporation profitable during the periods he headed them. That one said he wanted to highlight to the youths who make a habit of blaming the politicians for everything that none speaks about the swindling by the 1.5 million employees in the state sector. Mahinda remarked that what Kariyawasam said is thought-provoking for the people and for him as well. That's it for today.
The Leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම